One, two. All right, back again with another one. And so now, this is a video that I kind of saw a while back, but I didn't. I wanted to make something about it, but I was just kind of busy. I couldn't get to it. So I'm going to go into this one right now. So the video is CNN did a story on this sister that was working at McDonald's, and that and how her life, just on her life, and the fact that she's on public assistance as well, and still not able to make it work. So it's a good lesson. I want to go through it because I really want to tell you men how this type of person, how to watch out for somebody like this when you out there maneuvering in your life. But go ahead, we're gonna just break this video down. All right.
My name is Sophia Cotton. I'm 22. I have a 1-year-old son. I'm a single mom. I make
So, oh well, let me finish explaining what she makes.
$7.50 an hour at McDonald's.
So, the sister, let's just see what we got. Let's add up what we got so far. We see that the sister is a single mother. She's 22 years old. She's working at McDonald's full time, or as full of a time as they can give her the hours. She probably, I would say, have no health benefits from their job, so she has to get benefits from the state. She, as you can see, she has a child. We don't know where the father is. We don't know where he's at, if he's involved. I mean, I would assume that he's probably not involved if he's allowing her to go on public assistance and work at McDonald's to take care of their child. He's probably not involved. I would say that's me making an assumption. I could be wrong. He could be involved, but we don't see him there, so we're gonna have to assume that he's not involved since we're not being told anything about him. Next, we can see, if you notice, she definitely has her hair done. That she definitely has done. And I understand that you, as a woman, you can't be going out looking crazy even on the job. You have to look presentable. So I get that. So I'm not going to I was gonna tax her for that, but I'm saying, no, you know what, as a woman, you have to have yourself together, at least when you're on the job. People don't want you as a woman looking crazy. They a guy could get away with it more looking crazy than a woman. A woman is expected to at least be presentable in public. So let's not tax her for the weave or the hair, having her hair done properly. Okay, moving right along. I just wanted to note that that does cost money, but that's a necessity for being in the public for women. We're not gonna discredit or discount that for the sister.
Nothing.
So she says 750 an hour is nothing. Now, she has an opportunity. She had an opportunity to go to school and go to college or go to trade school or learn a craft, a marketable skill in some type of way, right? She was in school. She was going to school with free education. You can go out and learn and be whatever you want to be. She obviously decided not to pursue that, right? That's is what I'm saying. So to say it's wrong for McDonald's to pay you minimum wage, that's crazy when that's what they pay. That's how they in business. They pay people minimum wage. They have high turnover. They don't expect people to stay there and retire from there. They expect people to work there for maybe a year, 8 months, a year, and then move on to get another job. It's what they call a starter job, right? So anyway, just noting that her perspective is that she should be getting paid a lot more money working at McDonald's. So that's to let you know her perspective right there. All right, let's continue.
I make 230 to 240 every 2 weeks. I've been working there for almost a year. I haven't had a raise since I started working there.
Now, I'm gonna say this again. Now she's looking to say, well, wow, I should have a raise. What? this is not the type of place where they're gonna give you a raise every quarter. This is not that kind of. And if they do give you a raise, it might be 25 cent. You're not gonna be getting dollar raises, and you're not in a union, and you're just not. This is not a job where you're gonna be making a ton of money. This is like a computer. They really, what's going to end up happening at McDonald's is you're going to push your own buttons and order your own food, and the person, they ain't going to have nobody at the register. You can, just like at the ATM, there's not going to be nobody there. That's what's eventually going to happen. And there's only going to be people back there cooking the food, and eventually they're going to get rid of the people back there cooking the food. But anyway, I digress. I'm digressing. Anyway, so her perspective is that she should have been given raises like a regular job. This is not a regular job. Fast food industry is not regular jobs. That's not a career move. Okay, moving on.
They have a slow week, you going home every day. I came into work one morning, I had to be there at 7. And once the general manager came in, she came in like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and she was like, okay, well, Sophia, you can clock out. And I'm like, well, I just got here. She's like, oh, well, we don't need you, labor's high. You can go ahead and clock out. It's not really matter to them if we making our hours and getting paid.
So here's another thing she don't understand. This is a business. People, they have to cut. In a business, you have to cut costs where you can cut costs. If you have 15 people on the job at the same time and you only need 4, then you're gonna have to send some people home just to save money. You can't just, they gotta, if they're gonna be in business, they have to cut where they can. So this is another thing that just, I mean, just the perspective of somebody who hasn't taken the time to look at life in front at the reality of life. This is what happens. You can make a misunderstanding, make a misstep, and now you in this situation where you got a child that's looking to you for his substance, for everything, but you can't provide it properly. You got to do all these other different things to just band-aid something together, and he's still not giving the child what he needs. But I digress. We moving on.
I got 261 in food stamps last month. Then they deducted it to 216. To go through the whole month for 216 is feeding my son, me, every day, like feeding breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Now, I'm sure somebody tried to tell this girl not to get pregnant and not to put herself in this position before she had a marketable skill, or a degree or a marketable skill, right? But she didn't do it anyway. So now it's it's everybody's against her. Well, how is everybody against you when they told you from the beginning this is why you in school, so that you can get a marketable skill, so that you can be able to take care of yourself, and not only yourself, a family if you start one, right? Okay, just to showing the differences of understanding.
So I buy like frozen foods that I can keep in the refrigerator, on the freezer. I don't buy fresh fruits and stuff like that because it's not guaranteed that it'll be eaten all.
So now she's saying, hey, you can't even buy fresh food. If this kind of money, you can't buy food, and fresher food is more healthier for you, right? So now you can't even eat healthier food because you're in this situation. I mean, she's just clearly laying the whole program out for all of you young girls, all of you people that think, oh man, I shouldn't go get a marketable skill. I don't need to go to college. I don't need to get a marketable skill. I'm saying you got to go to college, but you should have a marketable skill. You should. I believe so. And if you don't have a marketable skill, then how you gonna, you got to do something. You're gonna have to sacrifice and study, either in college or someplace else. You're gonna have to study and sacrifice to get a marketable skill, so that people will pay you the kind of salary that you're looking for, or the kind of money that you're looking for, until you can start your own business. The average person ain't got an inheritance of money set to the side. They can start their own business. You gotta gonna work somewhere first, Then you're gonna have to flip out of that into a business, and then keep flipping businesses out of that. That's how most people gonna have to do it. Anyway, back to Sophia, Miss Sophia.
Make it stretch.
By the way, she doesn't look like the happiest person in the world. Not to me. I don't know. Maybe to me. But man, then again, I could be wrong.
Come on. With child care, I get CCIS, which is like covers your child care or any daycare that you would like your child to go to. I do pay a copayment for $10 a week. His dad's actually incarcerated, so it's like just me. Come on, Safi. I want my son.
So now we know where the dad is. The dad is incarcerated. So this is what I'm saying. If you deal with people that are doing things that are highly questionable, then you may find yourself dealing with a man that's ends up incarcerated. High risk lifestyle, drugs, guns, and just different high risk lifestyles, gangs, uh, you know, any assorted white supremacy type of lifestyle that's out there, you may end up in prison. You may end up incarcerated.
And to not have to struggle the way I struggle. He going to have a good paying job. He's not going to have to pick through anything. He's like, I'm going to do anything he want to do, he'll be able to do.
So now she's saying, hey, I don't want my son to make the mistake I made. I want him to live a better life and be able to not struggle like you. But if that's what all he's seeing around him, that's what he's gonna get used to, and he's gonna say to himself, okay, I'm gonna struggle. Yes, not one having the man, not wanting this man to struggle, but how's he gonna not struggle if that's all he sees is struggling, and he does never exposed to not struggling? That's why you got to take your children places and show them how people live that aren't struggling, so they can get the concept in their head. Wow, you don't have to live a life of struggling. Don't wait till it's too late before they realize, oh man, you don't have to live a life. Take your children to places, expose them to different ways people live and think, so that they won't just be like settle for being in the neighborhood. All right, moving on.
Give me a cup. I'm going to make it easier for him so he won't have to see a struggle at all.
Lies, lies, I say. How you gonna make it easier for this man? You're not in school. The father's incarcerated. How are you gonna do anything? You working at McDonald's. How? How you gonna do that? See, I don't know how you gonna do that. You gonna get promoted at McDonald's? I mean, what? How you gonna make a life good getting promoted at McDonald's? Typically, most people can't live on that kind of money that they're paying, even at the manager's salary. Most people ain't gonna be able to make it with one income on that salary. Maybe two, but one, come on. How you gonna get there? And then how long is it gonna take you to get from where you at to manager at McDonald's? I mean, come on, really? I mean, so we gotta be realistic. You're gonna have to go back to school. You have to get some type of marketable skill if you're gonna do what you say you're gonna do. So we just gotta be honest with it. So stop misleading people, man, in the wrong direction.
Because I'll rather struggle for him than him struggle for me. Like, I just want him to know. I'll make it easier for him.
Now you see, look here. Little man sleeping on a little mattress in the room, man. That's what little man got to sleep on. I'm sure that they probably living day to day, man, hand to foot, hand and going here, there, getting what. I mean, they probably live in a hand to mouth, right? But this is what happens, man, with teen pregnancy. You need to see that, or not even teen pregnancy, unwanted pregnancies. When you get involved with stuff that you get involved with a woman, and you don't protect yourself sexually, and then you don't protect yourself. You just not unprepared to deal with a life that may come from this. That's what happens. This is the kind of stuff that happens, man. Or you involve, or women that deal with men that's involved with white supremacy, high risk lifestyles. And I call gangbanging white supremacy because the focus of it is black men. The focus of the death is black men. The focus on the violence is black people. So I got to say it. I got to call it what it is, right? Drugs. That's white supremacy. I got to focus on what it is because the focus is to give black people, get them cut up on drugs. That's the focus of what we doing. So that's white supremacy. I got to just call it what it is, right? Not saying all white people are with that, but just that's what it is. It's white supremacy. A portion of them that say, "Hey, white people, we got to control this situation. So even if we got to pump drugs and pump gang violence, those type of stereotypes into that area, so they will follow those stereotypes and think, this is a money making opportunity when it's actually a death sentence for the rest of the community." Anyway, I digress. I'm getting off the topic. The topic is living your life on 750 an hour.
My number one always is to make sure that my rent is paid. So I make sure that we have somewhere to live.
Now, let me ask you a question. How is this girl? See, this type of chick you probably see at a club. This type of sister you probably see at a club somewhere, and she'll be able to manipulate somebody into. So this is my point on this whole thing: manipulate someone into helping her with this rent, and there's just different guys to do stuff like that, and that may be how she had to survive. But I'm saying, when you as a man, well, there's always going to be men out there that's going to be participating in something like that. I'm saying you, as a person that's trying to help our community and do something positive, production with your own life, even that'll help our community. If every man just do something productive with their own life, that'll help our community, our meaning the black community, and it will ultimately spill out into the rest of the world. Because if we can get enough people to stop committing crimes in the black community, those crimes won't spill out into the rest of the world, and other communities will be safer. But I digress again. Anyway, um, we have to, we got to see that this type of woman is dangerous, because this person's only 22 years old. By 25, this person is going to be looking for a savior. This is where I'm talking about, where you have to watch out, good men. You have to watch out, because at a certain point, these type of women, right, like women like this, she only has one child. Probably in the next 2 or 3 years, she may have two or three more by two or three different guys. This person is out there, and they are looking for a savior, and they're looking for someone to come in and be the surrogate dad. Pay, you pay whatever that the father is not paying. If it's zero, you pay the child support. 100% of the child support, the support needed to feed, clothes, and house that child, you pay it. Even though that's not your child, they're looking for you to pay it. They have housing problems. You pay the money that they have. They have vehicle issues. You pay for that. They're looking for that. They are in a hurricane, and you are the life raft they looking for. And they don't care if they gotta pull you all the way down. They gotta pull you down. They will pull you down and step on you. And when they use up your resources, they step over you and go to someone else. And I'm saying this is typical. I'm not saying all women are like that, but it's typical. That's why you must stay away from women like this. Proven track record of bad decision making. You must stay away from women like that. when they prove it and prove it and prove it, and they cannot show you any other place where they making good decisions, you must stay away from them. They are deadly to you as you on your way to try to be something productive in life. Women like this will pull you because they occupy your time and resources with their situation, and they don't care that you ain't gonna be able to be, you ain't gonna put the time in to study so you can be a plumber. They ain't gonna care that you can't put the time in to be at your place of business. You starting a record shop and you got to be there because you got to run them, you got to man it so it can be open. They don't care that you got to do that. They put pressure on you to deal with their problems, even though you ain't fully dealing with your problems. You got to leave somebody like this alone, like the plague. Leave someone like this alone. Young men, leave a woman like this alone. You see that big booty coming. I mean, she gonna definitely have everything. This is the kind of person you're gonna see in a bar or nightclub with the expressed extent intent for looking for a savior. You gonna be that. You do not be that savior. Matter of fact, I would not even entertain women like this unless you can help them in some type of way. You can point them to programs that can help them, or you can point them to services that can help them. I mean, help like that. You don't want to be intimate with anyone like this who has already shown they are not mentally prepared for the reality of life out there. They're just going to give you high frustration, and you don't need that in your life, as you already gonna have frustration trying to climb your way and get to where you can look around and say, you can secure yourself financially. Okay. All right, moving on.
Me and my sister split it. We paid 220 a piece. House authority pays 125 of it for us. One of my checks was 238, and it was like the week that rent was due. So it was like I paid the rent. I had no other choice. But then I found myself borrowing and borrowing. So when my next check come, that's my check that I use like to get diapers. My son.
Okay, so now you see that she's got even more the bad decision making because now you're in the payday loan hamster wheel, right? The payday loan. Once you get on the payday loan hamster wheel, then so now she got two strikes. First strike, she got a child. She's a single mother. That's the first strike. Second strike is, and when I say strike, I mean not a person where you, this is an evil person. This sister's not an evil person. Look like she might have a good heart. Just made the wrong moves. But that's nothing. That doesn't matter in this situation. You cannot align yourself with people that make bad decisions, man. If you're trying to be something productive, you just cannot do it. You're gonna be in a bad way. So she looked like she might have a good heart, good intentions, or whatever. But if you ain't willing to sacrifice and make things better, then and you don't make good decisions. Ultimately, they're gonna have to look for a savior, somebody who does make good decisions, and then they want you to run around behind them like Minnie Mouse, sweeping up every mess they make. Oh, they spent too much money here. You got to go and put in the balance. They spent too much money over here. You got to run around behind them like Minnie Mouse doing that. That's crazy. That's crazy. But that's what's gonna happen when you see this woman in a club and she gonna have her booty and her breast sticking out and she gonna talk to you all sweet and be everything you think you want. That's why you gotta look out for this type of woman. You gotta check these women out and where they live, where they coming from. Beautiful sister, if you could help her, help her. I mean non-sexually. You know what I mean? Platonically. Hey sister, you know what? I know they got bread down here. I know they got sandwiches down there. They got cots down there. You can go there. You got let me help. Let me give you this number that I got it memorized in my head for just such an emergency. Whoop. Yeah, I mean you, but as far as being physically or intimate with these kind of women, I know you're gonna say, man, it's to you. And you know, most of you guys are young. You say to yourself, man, but this person is offering what I'm looking for. Yes, that is the cheese on the string. Of course, they're going to offer you the sex or present it to you as if you can have sex, sexual intercourse or sexual interlude with them. But That is the cheese on the string to reel you in, to get you caught up, so that you will be the savior. Our savior has arrived. You know what I mean? Like Dr. College used to say, the bright and illuminating book. Our savior has arrived. Right? Our savior has arrived. Okay, but your savior has arrived, meaning you the savior that has arrived. They ain't letting you go. All right, man.
some
Let's get to it.
clothes. Like that's the check that I use to get those things. So it's like I find myself breaking into that because I have to pay everybody back. I only go to the doctor like if I need to go, or I have no other choice to go. I go. I needed a root canal for one of my back teeth, and it was like, well, if you get a root canal, I think they told me it was like around 300 something dollars, but they needed like a down payment. Like I couldn't either I had to pay the whole thing or put down like half down payment. So I'm just like, okay, well, how much would it be like to pull a tooth or whatever? And they like, oh well, it's free to pull a tooth, but we rather not pull a tooth because it's savable. And then I'm like, well, I'd rather you pull it because it's like I can't pay for it, but it's bothering me and I don't want the pain, so I'd rather you just pull a tooth. It's not really what you want to do, but it's what you have to settle for because you can't afford to get the right dental care. If I wasn't getting like rent, assistance, food stamps, or childcare help, I think I would still be like living in a shelter or something because I wouldn't be able to pay rent and take care of my son and, make sure he clothed and fed off of the checks that I've received from McDonald's. Come on, eat. It bothers me that I have to rely on government help, and I know that they making billions and billions of dollars. Like,
See what I'm saying? See, it's McDonald's fault that this girl ain't got what she supposed to have. It's McDonald's fault. They making millions of dollars, so they should just feel sorry for her and give her the money. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. But see, you got to stay away from people that's understanding is beneath yours. Beneath yours. I was I was involved in I've been involved in many community organizations, but I was involved in one community organization, and a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, both of us were involved. We kind of met there, and we became real good friends. And uh, you know, they had all types of different kind of guys in this particular organization that I was in. All types of different people coming from all kinds. People come from prison, architects, lawyers, prisoners, murderers. I mean, we had all types of different kinds of people in this particular organization. I've been in many different types of organizations like that, but this particular organization was a little more, uh, broad. Had a much broader appeal, and so a lot of times, a lot of the guys that went to prison would usually be alpha dogs, and they would kind of work their way into positions of leadership positions. But they think a lot of times they would think because they alpha dogs, they can just get things done just by being alpha dogs, and not understanding that there's always a political um, um, environment that you have to work in when you working with lots of people. So anyway, my friend, he told me, one time we would always get different assignments because we would always get things done, so they would give us assignments. And so one time they gave us an assignment, and he said, man, I don't think this is something we should do. And I said, why not? He said, that just it doesn't make sense to me. Why are we doing this when there's a better way we can do this? And I'm more of a, you know So I was, at the time I was more of a soldier. Hey man, we was told to do this. This is what we gonna do. That's what we gotta do, right? And so he was like, yeah, but nah, man. I know that that's how you feel, but man, I'm trying to. That don't make no sense to me. And so I said, man, but man, we in this organization, this big organization, man. We can, we we supposed to be helping the community, man. If we don't do it this way, then that person who gave us we gonna be kind of disrespecting their authority. You know what I mean? Not doing it that way. He's like, yeah, I know, man, but why should we do something that's gonna eventually be a bad thing just to show this person that we respect them, when ultimately our goal is to uh, you know, be a profit to the community or a benefit to the community. And this ain't gonna benefit the community in the long run if we do this the certain way that this person telling us to do it. So I started thinking. I said, "Well, that makes sense, man." And he goes, "Man, let me tell you something, man." He said, "I follow this, and it saved me on so many occasions." He said, "Man, I'm not never gonna follow anything from somebody dumber than me. If they prove to me that they're dumber than me, I'm not gonna follow their advice. I'm not gonna follow their suggestions. I'm not gonna follow that. None of that. If they if they lay out a case for me that they are dumber than me, I'm not gonna follow that person." And I said, "Man, that's crazy." But then when later I thought about it, I came back to him and said, "Man, you were right." Because he left the project that we were on, and I did it the way he said. I did it the way I was told to do it, and it didn't pan out. And you know, I realized, man, Father, he was right, because he and I were pretty much on the same page about a lot of different things. But he was right. I just disagreed with him because I was so gung ho about trying to help the community, man. I was like, bam, I want to do this. Even if we fail, let's get up and do another one. Let's get up and do it again. But my friend was more like, you know, why should we do all that extra work? We could be doing this and being successful at this move, and we should just be successful. Why should we fail when we know we're gonna fail? Why should we do something when we know we're gonna fail? That's crazy. So we shouldn't do that. We should try to organize ourselves in a way where we ain't gonna fail. Anyway, long story short, I ended up telling them, you know what, you're right. That's the best way to go. And so I'm gonna pass that on, pass that information on. Never listen to somebody. If somebody proves to you that they are less intelligent than you and that they can make a ton of more mistakes than you, do not follow their advice. You follow your own mind. If that person proves to you, I'm not saying you they I'm saying that you interrogate them to see. No, I'm saying they, like this girl. I haven't spoken to her, but she proved to me that she's less intelligent than me. I would never make those kind of mistakes. I would never put my child out there that I wasn't going to take care of. I would never um, get myself in those type of situations that she's in. Not say I would never do it, but I learned I wouldn't continue to do something like that. We've all made mistakes, but continue to do. You see somebody continuously making similar mistakes over and over again, they have an issue. They have a problem. They got a mental defect because they keep on doing the same thing, thinking it's going to change one day, right? So, that being said, never. If you feel that you're more intelligent than someone, you don't have to be disrespectful and disrespect them publicly, verbally, and say you're stupider than me. I'm not gonna listen to you. That's not what I'm telling you to do. I'm telling you, be smart at all times. Be smart at all times. Even on the check, be smart. Always be smart at all times. You don't have to say, I know you stupider than me, therefore I'm not gonna listen to you. You can say, I'll take that advice and thank you for giving it to me. I appreciate it, and move on. Move on. That way you don't have to disrespect anyone, but you don't have to follow their advice. Simple as that. Anyway, moving on.
It's like,
Almost done.
why should I have to rely on them when I'm working for you? I should be able to rely on you to pay me for doing the things that you want me to do for you.
That's crazy. See, just a not being educated, didn't understand, learn how business works. So therefore, you're expecting a business environment to be like a friendship environment. It's not like that.
And And I believe that sooner or later it'll change. And I won't be struggling, and I won't have to, pick from eating and buying my son something. Like, it's
How's it gonna change, sister? How's it gonna change? I mean, if you ain't doing nothing, going to school, giving yourself a marketable skill so that you can put your marketable skill out there on the open market and see what you can get for it in return for it, because this is reality of life. Life is moves. Everything moves around the business community. The business community is the backbone of the world. Okay, so in business, it's life or death. I mean, it's like there is no love in business. They look at you and say you a sweet girl, but they got a business to run. They can't just take care of you and say, well, we're gonna give you hours because you need the hours. No, it doesn't work that way. Not in business. We just gonna keep you hanging around here and make sure that, and then make and put the business in jeopardy, hanging having and just to have you give you hours. That's crazy. But just a not realizing or understanding or having been taught the understanding of business.
I'll be able to do both.
Now, most of us know this situation ain't gonna do nothing but get worse if she don't take charge of it and get herself in school. So, though now we see that this is just one, and I'm gonna do a series on this about so people that don't get themselves in school, they don't get educated. A great man said, qualify yourself. I'm gonna just say the man's name. His name was Elijah Muhammad. He said, qualify yourself for every endeavor. You got to qualify yourself. How can you go to McDonald's and say, I need to you or you have a child? How you gonna have a child and you're not qualified to have a child? You don't have no home for the child. You don't have no income to take care of the child. You don't have bed for the child. You don't have clothes for the child. You don't have food for the child. But you're gonna bring a light. You're gonna be involved in activity that's gonna bring a child. No, sir. No, ma'am. You don't do that. Qualify yourself in every endeavor. That's my main point in showing this is that this is the type of woman that you as a young man need to stay away from, as an older man need to stay away from, because you can be a sugar daddy in this situation, but eventually this person is showing you that they have an understanding that is below normal, below a regular person that's in the business world's understanding. Therefore, when you try to communicate different um, scenarios or different abstract ideas to this person, they're not going to be able to wrap their mind around what you're talking about, because they don't have a true and living understanding of what's going on. All right, so my point in the whole video is, my main point was, this kind of person is in the club, this kind of person is in the bars, this kind of person is in the nightclubs, and they looking in the after hours club, they looking for a savior. And if you mess around and be that savior, man, do you think they're gonna be in the nightclub telling you they're making $7 an hour? They're gonna have their best. They're gonna have their best weave in. They're gonna have their best clothes on. They're gonna have their best boots on. They're gonna have everything popping when they go in the club. You will have no idea that this chick is living paycheck, not even paycheck to paycheck, no check to no check, government check to government check. You won't have no clue, because you're simply gonna be so stuck on the physical appearance and wanting to hit it. You're gonna lose your train of thinking. And I'm saying that's why I said on the last video, bars and nightclubs, worst place to meet women ever. And you need to stop doing that. So look out for these women that's out here looking for saviors, because they will make you a savior, and they will have you position you into becoming a savior. You won't even realize what happened. Next thing you know, you digging in your pocket all the time. She calling you, especially on payday, they calling you, right?